All right, here we go. Ready? Okay. You sure you're ready, Hassan?
Let me just text my mom real quick.
Are you recording?
Yeah, I think we should be recording while he's texting his mother.
Hey.
Let me know when you're ready.
And good.
Welcome to Yippee-Ki-Yay Mother Podcast, a multi-generational discussion of movies.
Welcome to the party, pal!
I'm Ralph Quartucci.
I'm Sean Paul Murphy.
I'm Hassan.
And I'm Al.
And guess what, everybody? Today is Al's big day. Al is going to present a movie. Al, what movie are you presenting?
Today I will be presenting Natural Born Killers by Oliver Stone.
Excellent. What year was this made?
It was released in 1994.
Okay,
a lot of films came out in 1994, like Forrest Gump.
A lot of good ones.
Shawshank Redemption.
Forrest Gump.
Lion King.
Speed.
What else was there?
Did you say Pulp
Quiz
Fiction
Show.
already?
Pulp
Disclosure. Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction was in the same year?
Yeah.
It was.
Ed Wood.
What?
So Tarantino had a couple of scripts. All right. Do you want to synopsize it, and then we will play a trailer?
This, by the way, was the best film of 1994.
Okay. Ooh, I can't wait to discuss that.
Here's the synopsis. Here's my synopsis.
Okay.
It's an acid trip love story and a road trip film about two young mass murderers, Mickey and Mallory. And the main purpose of the film is to skewer U.S. media and the criminal justice system.
Right. That's true. Okay, let's watch a preview. Here we go. Now, watch this preview. It's so all over Stone. It's unbelievable.
Is that a good thing?
I think it might be.
It is an excellent thing.
Platoon, Wall Street, born on the 4th of July, JFK. Oliver Stone's vision has changed the way we saw our past. Now he takes a look at where we are and where we're going, and you'll be shocked at what he sees. Mickey and Mallory, feared by thousands.
I love you so much, baby.
I love you.
Watched by millions.
We're fighting. Can't stop fate. Nobody can. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone or something.
Woody Harrelson, Juliette Lewis, Robert Downey Jr., and Tommy Lee Jones.
What do you have to say to your fans?
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Natural born killers. In the media circus of life, they were the main attraction.
Come on. Is that a great trailer or what?
Yeah. You know, I actually don't like that trailer very much.
I knew you wouldn't because it's good.
Because if Al likes, if Ralph likes it.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? You noticed that? You noticed that. Okay, I should have said I hated it. If I said I hated it, he'd have loved it. I guarantee you.
I don't like that because I don't think it's very representative of the film.
I think that's what's good about it. As far as trailers go, this one's kind of doesn't like
give away too much. No, but it's definitely Oliver Stone heavy.
Yeah.
I think we saw a shot from every scene.
Well, all right. So okay,
except we didn't see. Did we see Rodney Dangerfield in that?
We did see Rodney Dangerfield.
How old were you when you saw this?
Okay, so remember in previous podcasts I would talk about how I watched horror films when I was very young.
Right.
Yes, we were very disturbed.
This was a film I was actually not allowed to see.
Oh wow!
And I would have been
finally
11 at that time, and I think it was mainly because the outrage in the press about all the violence in this film and what it was trying to sell. I guess.
And the copycat murderers that followed in its wake.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Some of that did happen, yeah. But I'm not going to blame media for people's actions.
Well, that's what this film does.
I'm sorry. I think you just undercut my...
I think we've set up a cat fight.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
You're dying to jump in.
No. Continue. Sorry.
So 11, you couldn't watch it.
I was not allowed to watch it.
Okay.
So I was introduced.
Now you had to see it.
Well, yes, but I didn't see it until like 3 years later.
Okay.
When it came out.
14?
Yeah, 14.
Okay.
On VHS.
On VHS, yes, my copy is over here.
Is that the original VHS that you saw?
Yes, it is the director's cut. I've actually never seen the theatrical cut, so I can't.
You don't know the difference?
I have no idea what the difference is.
I watched the director's
I tell you
cut,
what,
so-
I don't really. I know one thing that was definitely cut out for sure is when they shoot through Robert Downey's hand.
Yeah,
Robert
and
Downey
I think they cut out what's his name, Tommy Lee Jones, when his head is on a pike.
Yeah.
At the end.
Oh, right, that's in this one.
Oh, that was
Yeah, that's
Tommy
him.
Jones's head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but other than
spoilers.
that, if you read the, of course, I always try to read reviews. It's
He liked it.
he liked it, but he was really defending it because apparently it had like hundreds of cuts.
Yeah, there
all
was-
little tiny.
It was
cuts,
like
right?
150 cuts that the MPA requested
To
due
give
to
it
the
a-
violence
Wow.
in the film. And
But
there's
so,
also
but the director
some,
cut has them in there.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's all
It's
restored.
funny
It's
because
overstood.
it doesn't even feel that violent.
Well, that's what Ebert said. He said there's a lot of films that were more violent than
Yeah.
that were out.
But I think it was the idea that because I never saw this movie when it came out in '94 because I didn't care. It's like, okay, I don't need to see all this stuff. But looking at it now, I guess at the time, well, you'll get into it. But why?
Well, I saw it at the time. But
Why it was so important at the time? Because '94 was a crazy, just from. I think OJ was around then. You can go into it, but
that happened in June or July of 1994.
yeah.
But there was also like the Menendez brothers and John Wayne Bobbitt getting his dick cut off, and all the media was
that was the only one that really resonated.
yeah, with most men, I'm sure.
Yeah. He got some movie roles after that too.
Yeah, good ones.
I'm sure. John Wayne Bobbitt.
Do you know who that is?
No.
You weren't. You
Oh,
were-
is he?
he got his dick cut
serial
off.
killer?
The guy's
No.
wife.
She, in the middle of the night, she cut his Johnson off, threw it out in the woods, and they found it.
Yeah, they
reattached
threw it out of a
reattached
car
it.
window and they found it. And they
Does it
reattached
work?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was always.
He
on
appeared
Howard
in a
Stern.
number of porno
Yeah.
films after that.
He was on Howard Stern a lot too.
Yeah.
So we got the '90s to
Wow.
thank for that
Yeah,
guy.
thank you, 90s.
Yeah. So okay,
All right,
so
back to the movie.
So back to Oliver Stone. Go ahead.
Okay, so I saw this when I was 14, and what I guess, as with most movies, it was the visuals that stuck out for me a lot because
a lot of visuals.
It's this huge, like, $30 million experimental film.
Yeah.
And there are Sean's rolling his eyes.
No,
It's
I was just
amazing.
trying to look at the camera.
16 different film.
trying to wing it.
Something like 16 different film.
Yeah, they have
formats.
video, Super 8, 35
Do you know how long
millimeter.
it took to film it?
It was like 50 days?
50-something days.
Yeah.
How long did it
Cost-
take to edit?
And I don't know.
A year.
11 months.
Yeah.
Well,
There's 3,000 edits in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's cutting between,
Ralph Richardson lost his marriage as a result of this film, apparently.
who is he? The cinematographer. Yes.
Multi-Oscar winning
Yeah.
cinematographer.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's the visual. It's the cutting between color and black and white, cutting between the different like video and film,
Yeah. Super 8. He's cutting. He's doing
scenes.
everything.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
Animation.
animation.
Right.
I did read not the Oliver Stone script. I saw that movie. I read the Quentin Tarantino script, and in the script, Quentin Tarantino had 3 formats in there.
Okay.
It specified at certain times it would be like sometimes it was 16, sometimes it was video, and sometimes it was normal 35. But he did not go to the extremes that.
Well, I mean,
Oliver Stone did.
this whole film is about extremes. It's outrageous, in your face.
Transgressive.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's another film
yeah. Well, there are.
with incest scenes.
Yes, there are. But
I imagine if you saw this at the movie theater, it would have been unrelenting.
probably.
Because
I wanted
you
to
watch it on
leave.
TV now. You did?
I saw this. I saw it before it came out. I saw it at a sneak preview, and I wanted to.
Where exactly
I
did you want to walk out? What scene?
I can't remember what scene, but the only reason I stayed is because they gave me a copy of the soundtrack, and I thought it would be rude to leave since they gave me the soundtrack.
Which is an excellent soundtrack, by the way.
The soundtrack. It is an excellent soundtrack.
Produced
The
by
soundtrack-
Trent Reznor of
Yeah.
Nine Inch Nails fame.
And I didn't watch the film again. I don't think there is actually any incidental music in it. Is
No,
there?
I don't think so.
Trent Reznor wrote a song or two specifically for it.
Yeah.
but there's no
do you
incidental
count-
Wait,
music.
what's the old?
Do you count the incidental music as like the cartoony kind of like orchestral music during?
I wouldn't, because that's all needle drop. No one sat there and scored this
I think
movie.
they scored that though, because
they?
Oliver Stone said that they could not get the rights to any like cartoon music, so they had to create their own like cartoon-esque.
I wasn't aware of that, but
soundtrack.
it seemed like everything else. I almost watched it another time just to just keep track of the thing. But it's a great soundtrack. I really love the Sweet Jane by the Cowboy Junkies. I really loved all the Leonard Cohen songs, and I thought this is the only place you could get that Bob Dylan version of "You Belong to Me." That old Joe Stafford song, which you would think Bob Dylan would be the worst person in the world to sing it, but I think he does a really tremendous job with it. The only problem with the soundtrack album is they keep cutting to dialogue from the movie.
Yeah.
Which Trent Reznor also apparently
So-
recommended as he assembled the album.
I actually tried to watch it a few years back for the first time, and I stopped
Deja vu.
in the first scene, the diner scene. I just like all the going back from color and to black and white, and the all red scenes and stuff kind of jarred me a bit, and I didn't want to like sit through it. But this time I actually like really loved it, like especially like all the mixed media stuff.
His
Well, you probably have a new like appreciation for that and what that would take.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the being.
Wait a minute, Hassan, you saw this first time, though, in film school, didn't you, or in college?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
We talked about it and like the impact it had on the media.
That's what I want to get at. The '90s, the impact it had.
We'll get there.
Because when?
When?
When are you
Okay.
gonna get there?
Well,
Let's get there.
can I talk about the first scene?
Well, of course.
Go
You mean
for
the
it.
diner
The
scene?
scene killed me, the diner scene. Which I
diner
will
scene.
say,
The diner scene is awesome.
the diner scene is almost exactly as in the Quentin Tarantino script, which is why it's good. The thing that kills it for me is Juliette Lewis, for one thing. I thought when she first had her first national appearance, really, in Cape Fear with Robert De Niro,
Yeah.
I thought she was amazing in that movie. But each film she made after that, I began to like her less and less. And by this film, I just really kind of hated her. And when she's dancing, and that's supposed to be erotic, I'm like,
Is it supposed to be
I think-
erotic?
I
I don't
think
think
it's-
that's
I don't
supposed to
no,
be
they're like,
erotic.
whoa, look at that. It's
I
like,
think it's
really?
supposed to be weird, and she's just doing her
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, okay,
I
well,
found
good.
her-
Good, because I
they're
didn't find it.
Listen, I'm not a big
erotic
Juliette
thing.
Lewis fan, but this movie, I thought she was great.
Yeah.
And that the fight that she did in that diner scene, the way, because I know she didn't want to. There was something she didn't want to do, but she was willing to take karate lessons or martial arts lessons. She kicks the shit out of that guy.
Well, when she's dancing, though, it reminds me of that character she plays in that other film where she's like mentally retarded.
That would be the other sister,
The
but
other
yes.
sister, yeah. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, there she is.
God almighty, what the hell is that? Well, it's a bitch out of hell, son. Take a run at her, kiddo. Tell her, Mabel.
Hey, coming up.
The way you love me got to suit my style. Oh, little baby, I will say goodbye.
That's some sweet piece of meat, ain't it?
Love me, baby.
Her name's
Love me right. Love me morning.
Mallory.
No, I don't think that was supposed to be an erotic dance. I think it was just her doing her thing.
Yeah.
And
what killed me also
of course,
is like,
rednecks are rednecks, so they're going to immediately walk in and be total pigs.
Well, that's the thing
yeah.
is, but Mallory and Mickey are rednecks, too.
Well, of course they are.
So... And they killed a poor woman who had got him back on key lime pie, too.
Yeah.
It's because she hit on Mallory, or not Mallory. She hit on Mickey. I think that's why Mallory ended up when she was doing her eeny, meeny, miny, mo thing. That's why she chose her.
But you mean she saw the black and white version of the lady? That's what that whole scene, right? So they do the color. They go to black and white. It's her flirting with Mickey.
I feel like that's. Well, yeah, I guess.
I was wondering about that when I first started watching. I was like, is the black and white version what they see?
Yes.
It's
or
an
is
internal.
it-
It's internal.
Oh, but like
So they see
later
the
it
demons.
gets more sporadic.
Yeah, well, because he was getting
yeah.
crazier,
Yeah.
right? He was getting. They were
What
losing
happened
their.
on the scenes where they mix like black and white in a motel window. It's
that
color
whole
out there.
come on.
So come on.
This is like
the black
Oliver
and
Stone.
white
Like I
versus
said
internal
earlier,
and all doesn't work. It's inconsistent.
It does work.
God bless Oliver Stone. He's
And why is
masturbating
it's
all
color
over the
outside,
thing.
You know?
He's okay. So it starts with they're driving away in the car, and the car's shot on a back screen.
It's
or
rear
whatever.
projection.
I understand, but it's also way over the top, right? So they do that.
That's
That's great.
on
Okay,
purpose.
that's fine. I'm fine with that.
This is what this
I
film
don't care.
is.
Oh, got it.
How can you complain about it being over the top when it's supposed to be over the top? That's the whole goal.
I'm going to
of
explain why I think he was playing both ways. He was saying it's one
Are you
thing.
saying he was going both ways?
No, I'm saying he was saying, okay, it's about the media, but he was doing exactly what he was showing exactly what he's saying is bad about the media. So
Bravo.
we'll talk about
That's
that.
my point about this movie.
Right.
Exactly. It's like
He's doing scenes.
It's not an expose of the media. He's doing exactly what, as the fact that they had copycat killers. It's like he is doing the violence.
Think about the scenes where where two people are alone, like Scagnetti and Mallory.
That's it.
I know
Tarantino
Jack,
uses that name.
That's a great
Reservoir
name.
Dogs,
He's in
too.
all his movies.
Yeah.
When
It's a
they're
great
alone
name.
and he starts hitting on her and raping her and doing all that stuff and spraying the pepper spray. I'm getting ahead of the game, but I'm just saying.
you're cutting in like 2/3 in the film.
But I'm just saying he's doing violence on the screen that really has no reason other than just doing violence on the screen.
But
He's
that's
not making that
Scagnetti's character, though.
I understand the character, but Oliver Stone is showing violence on the screen against women. That's just he's playing both ways.
Because Scagnetti is
That's
a
all.
dick.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but don't make a movie saying it's
I
about
think
the
in real
media.
life too.
I think probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Sizemore.
He's
yes.
great though. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm jumping off.
It's
I'm
a
going
pity he's
ahead
like a drug
because
addict
this is
and
what
has
I
all
was
these
getting as I
problems.
was. I get what he was doing, but then he's also showing scenes of extreme violence against people that I think
That
he
That's how you make the statement.
No, by making it titillating.
No, he's not.
You inspire people to do it.
He's making the statement with the documentary, like where he cuts away to the people on the news, going, "I want to be Mallory. I want to be I want them to kill me." That's the statement.
But
he's
people,
making.
but people are like that. People are.
I'm not saying they
fans
aren't.
of
Women
Charles
write. People
Manson and
write to
stuff.
people in the prison.
Yeah.
I know. I get it.
He was saying
get
that
it.
the media makes these serial killers.
Well,
out to be
was
like
Charles
heroes.
Manson patient number one with that? Is that the assumption? that
Manson
Charles
never
Manson
killed
was-
anybody. Those people acted on their own.
Right. True. He didn't physically kill anybody.
Well, I think he actually did, but not necessarily.
Yeah.
not at the not right. Anyway, I'm sorry. Back to the movie.
Back to the movie.
Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Okay, the one reason I really like this movie is because at its base, it is a love story between two damaged people.
Right.
But
That's like the story of me and
right?
Ralph.
I'm definitely damaged.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What were you saying?
That was in the Quentin Tarantino's original script.
No,
right?
that was. Yeah.
It wasn't mainly about the love between
Stay on the mic.
the love between. Oh wow, that sounds a lot better.
Yeah, I know.
That's how
Is that-
radio
is that how
works.
mics
Yeah,
work?
that's how mics work. You have to actually speak into the microphone.
By the time he gets the footage, it's already been recorded.
Right.
Was that Quentin Tarantino's goal? Also, is to make it about Mickey and Mallory?
I don't know. I didn't read.
Well, let me tell you.
Tarantino's,
Here's the Tarantino. The Tarantino script was superior on almost every level. Except here's the thing.
Yeah, but wasn't there there's just a bunch of chunks missing? Wasn't Tarantino's script a film within a film? Like it was supposed to take place within True Romance?
There was probably about a 20-page part about. If you look at it, that footage is in there. It's like the reenactments that's done on American Psycho or whatever.
American Maniacs.
That footage is the stuff that was going to be in the movie. But in the Tarantino, basically what happens in the Tarantino movie, and this is one of the reasons it's superior, it starts with almost exactly the same diner scene. Then it cuts to American Maniacs. The real star, the central character of the film, the Tarantino script, is the journalist, the Robert Downey Jr. character. And the good thing is it's starting that, in the second sequence of the film, it's starting that they are going to ship Mickey and Mallory off to the mental. It's not like in this movie they're sending them to Scagnetti, and Scagnetti's going to kill them.
Right.
And nobody's going to look at it. This, they're sending them off to the mental institute where they're going to be lobotomized. you know, and you know, and the reporter wants to talk to him about it. So it's, but see, that sets up immediately. It sets up a time clock because it's going to be done within a week. So it's mainly, you know, Mickey and Mallory appear throughout, but the love story is better in the Tarantino one too, because one thing Tarantino did not have is where Mickey is like eyeing up the hostage.
Okay.
You know, and man must have his choices. And it's like, hey, I was thinking about bringing her into the mix. I mean, that undermines that they're just doing, you know, that all they do is love each other. That undermines that. Additionally, then you have the counter scene where she goes out and tries to have sex with, Balthazar Gettier? I don't know who it is. And
who it is.
even though she's looking at him periodically and he looks like Mickey.
Right.
You know, so basically there is nothing like that at all in the Tarantino movie. In the Tarantino movie, they are just totally in love. That's all they have for each other.
I
think so. It starts out. Mickey rescues Mallory from her sexually abusive father, Rodney Dangerfield, who is incredible in this movie, and I think it's like one of his best performances, personally.
Dramatic performance.
Now, can I just add one more thing about the Tarantino thing? Never happens in the Tarantino movie.
And I think
there's no incest in the Tarantino.
That's fine, but I can't see this movie without Rodney Dangerfield.
Abuse?
No, there's no. They don't talk about past abuse.
Both Mickey and Mickey and Mallory have abuse.
Yeah. So does Scagnetti. Didn't he?
Yeah. Well, he was.
I can't remember.
His mother was shot by Charles Whitman in the tower in UT Austin.
Right.
I think that is. I can't remember, but I think that is in the Tarantino script. In the Tarantino script, it's really kind of odd. And it plays out the natural born killers thing better. You know how all these people who are like, want gun control because the guns are the problem. In this film, they're a normal couple. They have a normal house. They have a normal life. They go shopping. They do this. They go to the mall. They talk about it. They don't actually show it. But then I think Mickey is like robbed. And at that point, well, they don't show this either. He explains it. He decides he should get a gun.
All right, so it's a whole different movie.
No, but listen, but I think this is interesting because it speaks to the motivation. He decides to go to the gun store, and the salesman shows him all sorts of guns. Then he gets a Mossback, shotgun, and he says as soon as that handed the gun, it felt so natural in his hands.
Well, he kind of talks about that in the interview.
Yeah, that he's a natural-born killer. So that is what really. And then that's what causes them to go on a killer spree, just because he put the gun in his hand. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
that is one thing where the Stone film is better. It gives them a better backstory.
Better, yeah.
Well, the backstory
and motivation,
and the way he gets to the backstory with that. You talk about that Rodney Dangerfield scene, where he plays it like a sitcom.
Yeah,
but he flips everything.
Yeah,
people are still laughing. Meanwhile, this nasty shit's going on in there.
Hi, Dad. How was work?
What work? I'm unemployed. Where the f*** have you been, huh?
Well, you look nice, Mallory.
Yuck, you look like... Thanks, Mom. Well, I'm gonna go now. I'll be back at midnight, okay?
What are you wearing, a broomstick and a trash bag? Why don't you put some meat on you, huh? A few pounds lighter, you'll be Miss Ethiopia.
And I think that's where Stone, like I said, he's just throwing it all up there. It takes, if you want to make it a love story, I didn't give a crap about that because you're right. They're raping and pillaging and grabbing people, and they're not in love with each other. And she's the one who makes the big deal out of, you're supposed to be in love with me, and you're doing all this other stuff, and you don't love me anymore. You're not looking at me. I'm not pretty enough, and that's why she goes out to that guy.
I think she was right.
Yeah, I mean, he was, so I don't see the love story. I mean, I see what he's trying to. He's he rescued her out of the father's.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the one I think really damaged. Because if you're buying that as
what
their
happened to her
love story,
brother?
by adding their outside interest,
he's free now.
That's what kills the love story aspect of it, which throws the film off balance.
I think it was.
But isn't that resolved by the end when they've spent time apart in prison and then they
ultimately they're back together?
I know that's the way it is with me and my wife. Like if we ever have like arguments or something, and we both end up in prison, when we get out, we're usually.
Well, obviously, it is about those two. Ultimately, it's the whole point of keeping
men and
separate.
women in the same prison.
What's that?
Apparently, in this one they do.
In this prison, they keep men
do.
and women in the same prison. In this.
everybody around them believes they have this great love story because that's why they keep them separate, right? That's why they're punishing them by keeping them separate.
Yeah, but under any circumstance, and the thing, it's a.
And did Scagnetti kill that other woman?
The prostitute?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm assuming he wanted to know what it felt like to actually kill in order to understand Mickey and Mallory
and
in order to like go catch them.
How does that show the media? How does that?
That's not the media part. That's the criminal justice system part. I think he's saying that the prison warden and Scagnetti, they're all corrupt.
Yeah. He cut Mallory.
Shocker.
He cut Mallory.
Ding. No, now it's starting to sound like 3 Days of Condor.
We needed Faye Dunaway in this movie.
Yeah.
No,
that would have helped.
Don't you think Faye Dunaway would have been better? Maybe not.
I love all the cameos. When you read IMDb, all the cameos of people who played the demons. You know, those little quick cuts he does. There's a lot of people that were doing that.
Really?
Yeah. Read the
well,
IMDb.
I liked Stephen Wright as the prison.
Stephen Wright was great. Yeah. He's always good.
He was so popular back then.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Well, he just Pulp Fiction. He played the radio DJ in Pulp Fiction. You only hear his voice, but anyway.
Actually, one of my favorite scenes was the situation comedy.
Yeah,
the whole. Yeah, I'm sure you figured.
No, that's right up your alley because it flips the.
It totally flips it.
Yeah.
It's the.
I'm not saying it was a bad. I'm not saying. Listen, Oliver Stone.
Transgressive.
It was transgressive. And the topic is abhorrent, but it's also like funny in a way because of the way he frames it. And I kind of find it funny.
What message is he?
I didn't think it was funny at all.
Well, the message is
you didn't find it funny at all.
The message is you'll buy anything.
Yeah.
An audience that watches television will buy anything.
Yeah.
And that's why he put, the Coca-Cola, he kept putting the Coca-Cola in the middle of it all.
I think that anytime they actually showed a demon, they would show like a commercial or
that's right.
Or the
because
polar bears.
That's all America needs is you show them a commercial. Everything's fine. So yeah, he's good. He's very good at the message, no question. But I think we'll get into it a little bit more. I think he goes over the top.
What did you think of it, Hassan? The phony sitcom thing.
I thought it was it was like appalling. It was disgusting. I think that's exactly what they were trying to show, though, that it's a awful thing like that's happening and it's so bad. But like when you put it in, they do this a lot in like actual shows where they have all this stuff, but they put in like a laugh track and they make everything bright and colorful, and it's like, oh, everything is just like funny. It's a show. It's not real, but it is, and it's disgusting. It's
and the message is.
Are you familiar with Rodney Dangerfield?
I think so.
Back to School.
I think I know.
I get no respect.
Yeah. So no, that was definitely against type. For him.
This was.
Oh no,
he never did anything like that. So it was.
But I will. Can I say one thing?
Oh, yeah.
The mother. Edie McCurd.
Yeah.
Wait a second. She played the mother in my Amish comedy.
Oh my God.
Amish comedy.
What's the
She
name
was
of that
very
comedy?
funny. Holy Man Undercover. She was
Holy
very
Man
funny.
Undercover.
And actually, they kept a good line of hers in the movie, so she wasn't totally raped.
You
by
got to be Amish.
Did you talk to her about Natural Born Killers?
No, actually, it was not. They shot that on the Amish stuff on the Disney Ranch, and I was not there that day.
Well, that's a shame.
I should have. We also had Clint Howard playing her husband.
Wow, that sounds like a winner.
Clint Howard's hilarious.
Hilarious.
Amish comedy.
Yeah, so he's trying to make a point. Yes, he's flip-flopping the sitcom idea to show that America, there's all this stuff that goes on underneath. You don't really know what's going on, of course, okay? He's right.
But does having abusive parents excuse your behavior?
I don't think he's making. I think I don't think he was making excuses. He was just saying this is a fact.
Yeah.
And they were created. It's not until you want to talk more about it?
About which part?
I don't know. Do you have any? You had a whole list of stuff you wanted to get to. I don't want you to feel like
you've already derailed.
Well, get back on track.
We've already gone track.
Get back on track.
Let's lift a train and put it back on the rails.
We'll get that back on there.
Well, can I tell you what one of my favorite scene in the movie was?
Yeah.
It's soon after. Okay, so he breaks away, goes to jail. He comes back, gets her. They kill the parents, and then they're marrying each other on the bridge.
Yeah, on the bridge.
And somebody comes by and heckles them.
Yeah.
And she says "F you" and this and that, and he just looks over and goes, "I'm not going to kill anyone.
Not on our wedding
day. I'm
day.
not going to murder anyone. I thought that was a good line. I'm not going to murder anybody on my wedding day. That and the soundtrack were my best things about it.
Woody Harrelson was good.
Yeah. I think
amazing.
I think everybody was amazing in this film. I think Woody was. I think Juliet was. I think Robert Downey Jr. was amazing. I think he was probably the best.
Was good.
I think.
Well, you would have loved the Quentin Tarantino
Tommy
movie
Lee Jones,
Tommy Lee Jones, Tom Sizemore.
Yeah.
I think they all gave it their all.
Yeah, they had bit players that were good too. I like his little Rachel Maddow looking producer that ends up getting killed at the end.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there was a lot of good people in there.
Yeah, but as a straight narrative, I like the Tarantino one over because it sets a time.
Well, you keep
clock.
talking about the Tarantino.
It didn't happen. It's not a real thing.
Yeah, but I'm
it's
just
a figment of your
You
imagination.
would have rather have seen that movie.
I would have 100% rather have seen it because
No
I
way.
think this film fails because it's badly structured. You have all this opening. There's no time clock. It's aimless. And then it cuts to 1 year later.
But
it's experimental.
But isn't that part of the whole road trip aspect? It's aimless. It's them being aimless and going on a murder spree.
And it's more heavy-handed. They're going down Route 666,
You
as
mean
opposed
you
to...
mean he wasn't being subtle with his message?
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Like I said, this is not a subtle film.
No, it's not.
None of this is subtle.
It's an in-your-face, like...
I'm having trouble
on
suspending
the
my
media.
disbelief. No, I don't expect reality in this movie.
This is a
I didn't expect
hyper-real,
reality.
surrealist movie.
But here's my problem. My ultimate problem with the movie, it's not the message. It's not the acting, not even Juliette Lewis. It's the fact that it keeps telling you, I'm a movie. It doesn't let me get engrossed in it because it's like, look at me, look at me, look at me.
That's the point. It's a movie. It's the media.
Yeah, but it's not. It's distracting me from itself.
Speaking of which, can I ask a question about a character that pops up?
Are we talking about Owen?
Yeah, Owen.
Yeah,
Who's
the
Owen?
guardian angel, the guy that his arc was cut out of most of the movie.
It
No,
was?
who is this?
Yeah, the Native American?
No, not the
it's the
name.
guy at the end that helps him get out of the...
Yeah.
Oh,
That's on Robert
I
Stephen
can't think of the
Wright.
actor's
forgot
name. He's a
about
good
him.
actor. I like the actor. He was in Jurassic Park, one of the Jurassic Park ones. I can't think of that guy's
Yeah,
name.
but
He's good.
he shows up in the diner in the very
right,
beginning.
he as a ghost or something.
Yeah.
She sees him or something.
Yeah,
What?
What is his?
Wait,
I
where
think
in the
I
diner?
missed something.
In the diner, she looks across the tables, and this guy Owen is sitting there, and he disappears. Right? It's like a ghost thing. I don't quite. And then he shows up at the end.
To help
he's the
them
guy
escape.
he's the guy that comes out and helps him escape into
Yeah.
prison. The guy that takes him down the back way.
His
Definitely
whole
not
And then he
arc,
disappears. Then he's gone when they're outside
yeah,
again.
his whole arc was cut out of the movie.
Even the director's cut? Because I
Yeah.
watched the director's
It's
cut
not. It's not in there. There's additional deleted scenes that.
of Owen.
Yeah,
Okay.
What happened?
I don't know because I didn't watch them.
I guess they felt
I think
that.
the director's cut is the perfect.
I guess they felt
Even
that
though-
the
even
movie
though
being
Owen just
5
disappeared.
hours long was just too much.
Yeah, director's cut is perfect because he just
Perfect.
disappeared. I mean, come on,
What do you want?
help me out. You know, explain it. Help me.
How
Sell
about-
me. I want to know why. So is this movie just a message movie for you? It's just about you like the fact that it brought up the fact that the 90s, the media was all about serial killers and the violence. And there's a scene they do where he's getting beat. It's definitely a Rodney King.
Oh yeah,
Outside the diner, right?
Right.
Where all the cops are beating
No,
on
it's outside
Mickey.
the drugstore.
Outside the drugstore. I'm sorry. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Where all the beating him.
How's that feel, big shot? Yeah, and nailed that cop killer. Hey, Mickey, want a drink?
I know. I see all
Which had
that.
a different name in the Tarantino script.
I guess his message got through to me because I got it. But then they bring Rodney King up at the end. He does that montage at the
Right.
end with the Menendez brothers and Rodney
It's sort of
King.
like,
He just, it's
hey,
like,
if you didn't
yeah,
get it,
this is who that's supposed to be, right?
yeah,
So,
hey, you may have missed
It doesn't
this.
bother me. I
obviously, no, you love
Yeah.
the movie,
Did you?
right?
It's like
Does
that's
the film
right,
actually
getting to the
entertain
end.
you?
The film does entertain me. I think the film is hilarious in some ways.
Because you're like one of those kids that wants to sit there and go, I want Mallory to kill me, right? You're like one of
No.
those. So how can that entertain
His
you?
son wants Mallory to kill him.
Do the actors entertain you in this movie, or is it the
Robert Downey Jr. entertains me. The colors entertain me. The different formats
yeah, so
entertain
you
me.
like the technique
cutting,
of the film.
I love
Yeah.
the technique.
I thought that technique really worked on JFK.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
But I didn't think it worked here. Because
Well-
JFK, it was more purposeful.
Again, if this movie were a straight up movie without all that, it would have been. The movie's already been made. It's already been made.
It probably wouldn't have been very good.
It's the one with who's the one Robert Beretta. What was that movie he did early on, where he
Lost
Sissy
Highway?
Spacek?
Oh no, it wasn't Beretta. It was you're
Robert
talking.
Blake.
No, it It was Martin Sheen and.
Oh right, you were
yeah,
correct.
you see, this one thing. I like this movie, Natural Born Killers, better when they released it earlier as Badlands.
That's
So
what I'm
this-
saying.
yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Badlands.
Yeah, Badlands.
I don't know
This
what it is.
movie is Badlands mixed with Network.
Maybe that's why
Right,
I like
and
it.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
Bonnie and Clyde, because
Yeah.
in Bonnie and Clyde,
But
same thing,
Badlands
people
was
were-
the Starkweather murders that, with the guy, the teenager, and the killer, and they killed a bunch of people in the Midwest during the 50s.
I think
That's what the Mickey and Mallory is really
Right.
based on.
You know what? I think the reason I really like this is because I saw it as a teenager and I saw it as this like weird love story and a big fuck you to everyone. I think
But
that's
they-
why I
Well, I
like.
thought it was to me.
I feel like it wasn't.
Wait a minute.
They
Back
kind
up,
of
back
showed
up.
that they
Let's
weren't
hear
as in
Hassan. He
love
doesn't- let's
as.
hear.
I feel like they weren't. They were showing that they weren't like. It wasn't just like love. It was just like a lust thing. Like they were driven.
I think it was
It was
less, but
lovely,
then it
like
grew
you and
into
Ralph.
something.
It was like the whole being caught and going to jail thing just like spiced up the relationship.
I
kinda thing.
don't think I got that.
I got to back
That's kinda
up a
how I
step.
felt.
You're telling me.
Can I tell you there's a true story? There was a guy, it was in Baltimore, and the
I have a
BBC
question.
made a film like it called Armed Robbery Orgasms about a guy whose girlfriend would only be aroused if he did a robbery. It's a true, it's really a true story. The
Okay.
BBC made a film about it. So, I mean, it's not as outrageous to think that, that.
Why would that be outrageous?
No, I'm
Yeah.
back up a step.
No,
Yes.
that people.
Ralph's going to ask a question.
An 11-year-old boy.
I'm not 11. I was 14 when I saw this.
Yeah, come on, man.
You were into the love story of this movie?
Yeah. Because I think it's like in a twisted way, it's like a Romeo and Juliet thing.
Well,
That's
it's a
exactly-
twisted Romeo and
Yeah.
Juliet.
That's exactly
It
what the
started like
copycat
at
killers
Romeo and
thought.
Juliet and ended up tragic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, so okay.
That's a
See,
joke.
at 15, I never would have cared about a love story, unless it's not this. I mean, this one, like Two Killer love story. Don't get me wrong. I used to watch, what the hell, Sally Field and Burt Reynolds. Those were love stories in their own way.
Are you talking Smokey and the Bandit?
Smokey and the Bandit's great. I fell in love
Yeah.
with Sally Field.
Yeah.
Oof.
Can I have a question, Hassan? Have you seen Smokey and the Bandit?
I have not.
Do you know who Burt Reynolds is?
Yeah, I know who Burt Reynolds is. He's in The Longest Yard.
He was in
Both of them.
both of them.
That's true. Okay, back to your. I'm sorry.
That's
Al,
okay.
We keep going off. So 11-year-old, you're into the love.
I'm
well,
not
14.
11.
14. I'm sorry.
He at least
14.
hit puberty.
Okay, 14. You're in a love story. I understand the fuck you about the media. I get that.
When you're 14.
Well, I
No,
see.
because if
It's not even just the media. It seems like a fuck you to society.
not to
in general.
mention the hype that this got moved.
Did you listen to Punk?
Maybe.
I bet he did.
When you were 14, it was probably more of a heck you.
The hype this movie got about being so dangerous and so, because I guess there were copycat stuff going on,
Yes,
right? As
at least
people were
two,
watching this.
apparently.
So it did have its own kind of, built-in hype that, this movie, you got to go see it. It's,
And
But it
plus
wasn't. When you look at it
and
now,
plus
when you break it
this was
down-
a film that I was not allowed to see initially.
Well, there you go.
So that also built it up.
There you go. And if you look at it now, it's not that violent.
No, it's not. Not
I mean,
compared to
compared.
like torture
speaking.
porn. I think
But-
I guess what I think really upset people is like this could Sean brought up the copycats, but like this is something that could happen. Like this was
It's already it happened.
even though it's hyper realistic, surrealist, like technique wise, it's still a story that
the truth
could
is-
happen.
his truth was, people do this. People do look up to serial killers. People do write letters to serial killers. Women want to get married to. He was telling the truth.
And the media amps all this up.
Well, that's
especially
everything.
during the 90s. But like now, I maybe I'm wrong. It seems to be that they've backed off at least on like spree killers and stuff a little bit.
Really, I don't see that at all. I see it.
You
I
think they backed off?
No, I think you got cable. 24 hours of cable. When that guy pulled the thing in Las Vegas, it's
Maybe I just
24/7.
don't watch as much TV.
Maybe,
anymore.
but it's
That's
24.
probably a good thing. Only watch basic cable.
Yeah, or this podcast.
Are there any
Or this
more?
pod.
Are there any other serial killers out there?
There's lots
Serial
of. There's
killers?
always lots of them.
They're floating around. I don't know.
I mean, I haven't.
They
heard
say
of
there's
any-
someone down in
famous ones
Miami
that are
killing
on- I haven't
I haven't heard
prostitutes
of any of
now.
them on TV.
All I know is
Or is it Fort Lauderdale?
There's thousands of podcasts based on just serial killers.
So I mean, there is this,
there's an interest.
yeah,
for it.
fascination.
Yeah,
with it.
fascination.
I just started watching Mindhunter.
It's good, right?
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
And I like that they're diving into like why killers do this,
Yeah.
like why they're. And I felt like this movie was also like showing like why they're killing people. Like why?
Well, that's-
What's driving
Right.
them to do all this? And they did that with. They showed like Mickey's backstory, Mallory's backstory, Sagnetti's backstory.
What was Scagnetti's the tower shooting?
Or
right?
yeah,
his
the
mother.
tower shooting,
Yeah.
whatever.
He saw his
Whitman,
mother
Texas
die.
Tower.
Right.
And then
But Scagnetti
Well,
was
I think
yeah,
this
yeah.
is just he's just showing the sickness of American culture in an overtop way, and I like that.
right, and people went crazy in '94. People
Yeah.
were like,
Would you like to know what Roger Ebert had to say?
I told you he liked it.
Yeah, but he really liked it.
Lean into your mic when you say it.
Oliver Stone's natural-born killers may have played more like a demented nightmare if it hadn't been for the O.J. Simpson trial case. Maybe Stone meant his movie as a warning to where we are headed, but because of Simpson, it plays like an indictment of the way we are now. We are becoming a society more interested in crime and scandal than anything else, more than in politics and art, and certainly maybe even more than sports, unless crime is now our new national
And he
sport.
wrote that in '94.
Yeah, this was his
and here is
4-star review.
And you don't think if someone, people are getting killed on Facebook, and it's people are posting suicides and shootings, and so people are still watching this stuff.
Yeah,
You know, people only post their suicide once, though.
This is true. This is true.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And you didn't like this movie?
It just kept poking me in the eye.
It's
saying,
because it's
look at
overhand.
me."
I mean, it can be over. I can see how it could be overbearing.
Do you feel Mallory was getting suicidal towards the end?
To what?
Suicidal.
In which part?
I mean, like
No, she
like,
was just.
when they're talking to the Native American, he says this one has like a sadness in her. That
Well, I think
she
that
might
was
not
a
be able to
result
cure.
of what her father was
And
doing.
then
to her.
like, and then well, that was when they start. That was after they started killing people, and she ran away already. But like,
yeah, I
then,
know, but
she
that
had
doesn't. That kind
idea.
of thing doesn't go away.
It's the only time.
And
I
then
saw-
she had that idea about them just running out and going out in a blaze of fire and just being dead. And then
Well, that was in the prison.
yeah, and then he was like, "Oh, well, we'll just like go out. We'll do that if as a last resort plan." And she kind of like had the gun in her hand. She kind of like put it to her head. Almost
The
like
only
she wanted to
remorse
kill
I saw
herself.
the only remorse she ever showed is when Mickey killed the Indian guy.
Yeah,
Because
Mickey too. Mickey also showed some remorse.
in the interview, he kind of.
Well, he was because he but she.
I
Was
will
mad,
say
she was
that the
angry at
Indian
him.
scene was not in the movie. There was no scene like in the
I'm sorry, the
Tarantino
what?
script.
The what
There was
With the
no scene like
rattlesnakes?
the Indian. The Indian. There
Native
was nothing in
American
there
scene?
like that in there.
It's Native American.
So at
that-
least it got a good. At least it got a good Native American role in there.
That was Russell Means, by
Yeah,
the way.
he was very good.
That's also one of my favorite scenes.
That's a good one. That's a good scene.
Oh, I will say one other thing I liked about the film. So I'm not a total hater. Is like when Robert Downey's like, and they say they're going to kill him. It's like, hey, I thought we had bonded in there, and he's like,
Yeah.
nah.
Well, I didn't think they were going to kill him right up until they killed him. I thought they were going to let him go. Now, the end of the scene, end of the movie, they show them driving off in an RV
Right.
with all their kids. Right?
Yeah.
What's he saying there?
Wait, what?
You didn't watch
Did you
the
not
movie,
see that
did
part?
you?
Where
Wait a
was
minute.
that
At
part?
the end, he meets his girlfriend that he thought had left her.
No.
Oh no, sorry. That's
No,
in the
Mickey
parody
and Mallory get away in an RV with their kids. They get away, and Ralph is asking what Oliver Stone is trying to say by including that. I think what he's saying is they killed the media and they've gotten away from it. They're no longer. They've killed their demon, which is the media and the criminal justice system.
And now they can live a happy life, even though
and all the stuff that happened when they were growing up, they've finally gotten rid of it, and they can go live a happy life.
The movie
and he's
didn't
saying a happy
end-
life is suburbia life with kids, 2 kids.
I guess,
and
yeah.
See, that's what I mean. It's like flip flopping.
Well, maybe it's I don't know. It's Oliver Stone seems to be into like the 1950s a lot. I don't know why or like.
Well, he grew up probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
he's
like
probably-
maybe that's his thing. He's like into the
But
nuclear
right, but
family.
he's saying the happy ending is the suburban ending.
So the movie
I mean,
didn't
but they're not.
end.
They're not in the
Well, they're
not in
driving around in
suburbia.
an RV. There's probably
They're
2
in the
I don't remember.
underground.
Right, they're in
They're
two. They have 2 kids, right?
And she's pregnant.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Where is the RV scene?
Oh boy.
Where?
Did this
Hassan,
happen
did
after
you
the
watch this
credits?
movie?
This happened right
At
after
the
they
end of the-
kill
after they kill Robert
Downey
Downey.
Jr. and they walk away from the camera that's filming.
And then the credits start rolling.
No.
By the way, do you remember
Oh,
Morton
that
Downey
is crazy.
Jr.?
Yeah.
He was that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was playing. Robert Downey was actually playing an
Hassan, how did-
Australian guy.
He was playing
I know-
Steve Dunleavy
Right.
from A Current Affair.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right, but Morton Downey Jr. was around in the
Yeah.
90s too, and this is all. Kind
I mean,
of
this is
playing out.
Geraldo. This
No,
is
and I
like-
will say, you said to watch that interview with Manson. Geraldo did, and there was definitely that vibe. I mean, his
Yeah.
attitude, Downey's attitude, and Mickey's response was definitely the same kind of like posturing, like challenging you for the sake of the camera.
Right.
It just, that interview made me remember how much I dislike Geraldo Rivera. I particularly hated him during the Baltimore riots. I like when he almost got that guy to punch him, and I'm like, oh God, punch him. You know, when he was on the streets of Baltimore. I don't know if you saw that, but he's
That was, you
not a
mean the
fan.
recent one, right?
Yeah, the recent
Yeah.
riots.
I liked how Robert Downey Jr. during the interview kept on saying like, "Oh, like," he was like, "What about the innocent ones?" And then Woody Harrelson was like, "Who's innocent?" And he's like, "Are you innocent?" And then Robert Downey Jr. is like, "Of murder, I'm sure." And then he ends up like later like killing people and.
Well, again, it's the whole
That
idea.
was
once the
also
gun,
not in the
once the gun gets in his hand, Robert Downey Jr. starts killing everybody.
See, that's
and
the
he's
theme.
all-
You know,
trying to
once
say
the
that,
gun is
like-
in your hand, you want to kill.
He's
Is
saying
he trying to
everybody. He's
say
saying everybody has it in
everybody
him.
is in
Yeah.
him? Everybody's a
that's what
killer.
I read out of it. I don't know.
No one's innocent.
I just couldn't
believe
get
that?
past. I mean, he's trying to make a point about all the violence, and then in the movie he's showing violence just for the movie's sake, not for any message, just to see Scagnetti spray her in the face and do all that shit to her. I get it, that's his character. I understand that, but he's still showing it in a movie. He's still
What?
using violence
You
in
keep-
a movie
you-
to titillate.
Are you saying like?
I don't know
I
what
think it
point
does
to you.
Are you
titillate.
saying? Are you titillate? Are you saying like he shouldn't have done that? Like he should.
There's
have
ways
cut
to
that?
doing it without.
No, I'm
What
saying
do you
with,
mean?
with all
He was mad. He was fighting her. He was beating her up, and at that point, like she's considered like a serial killer. You know, once you start seeing all these like serial killers, the cops are like, you know what? I could shoot you at any time. They
are we
get,
supposed
like,
to feel
driven.
bad for her or for him?
You're not supposed to feel bad.
I think you're supposed to feel bad for her, honestly.
Right.
They
I'm
make
not
it
doing
seem.
it.
They make it seem like you should. Like they're looking into the serial killers, and you start feeling bad for the serial killers, but really you shouldn't be feeling bad for anyone because
It's the Godfather effect. Like you're sympathetic to the Corleone family because
though
everybody
they're
else
evil.
in there is more
But
evil
were
than
you
they are.
you sympathetic to Mallory and Mickey?
I'd say I'm more sympathetic towards Mallory than I am to Mickey. Because
I could see that. I'm
it
not
seems
saying-
like
Yeah, well,
she has more of a,
more than him.
more of a
But she's
conscience
just
than
as- I don't-
Mickey does.
She just kills that guy at the gas station for no.
for giving him bad. That's the worst.
bad
thing.
head.
Yeah, he didn't take his time. That's it.
Yeah, he should have been. Yeah. I think that's a
It's
valuable
patience-
lesson for all of
patience-
us.
Patience is a
Let's-
virtue,
Yeah.
Oh,
and so is stretching.
wow.
Learning some life pro tips here from Hassan.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you, Hassan.
So,
Hassan, what did you watch this on, by the way?
On
Yeah, on that,
online
yeah.
on,
On that, okay,
on
okay,
my
that's fine.
computer.
Did you watch it all in one
Paid for
sitting?
it. Yeah,
See, he
I
This
was
one
watched it
he
so
all in
watched
sucked
one
in.
sitting.
That is saying something. He watched it.
I'm
What
not.
was it, a
Wait,
week?
what do you mean? I see all my movies in one sit.
But he missed the RV
natural. The
You missed the
natural
RV scene.
setting is.
and you
I
miss
see.
Owen.
No, I remembered Owen. I just like
I
didn't
missed Owen.
grasp it because he was in there for like a quick second. We should probably watch the RV scene real quick though.
It's just at the end. It's just them driving off.
It's them driving off with the credits rolling over
Yeah.
it.
Oh, okay.
Let's
don't
please show
No,
it
I
to
guess
the
I
audience who
probably
may have
just
seen the
I
theatrical
probably
cut
just
that they did.
didn't. I probably just didn't
Pay
notice it
attention.
because of the credits.
You're out with the credits.
I mean, not usually, but this time I think.
Right. Anyway,
Did you have something more important to do?
Yeah,
Any,
I have to go grab my.
any
Chipotle.
other notes you have before we wrap it up?
I don't know.
Do you feel like you? Do you
I
feel
think
like
we
you?
can go further on this one. Like, here's my question: at what point did you? Well, I could ask this to more to Ralph. At what point did you stop seeing Oliver Stone films in the theater?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because I'm looking
When,
at them.
didn't they stop coming out in theaters?
No,
I think
there's-
I think the last one I saw was JFK.
Wow.
In the theater?
Yeah.
Wait, so you're saying JFK did the same thing with this?
Yeah.
and
Yeah, watch
they did-
JFK.
Oh yeah, JFK.
But I don't actually-
But don't
Experimental.
watch
Very
the director's
stylized.
cut of JFK.
Not
It sucks.
experimental, like not the extent
It didn't
this
have,
one
like,
did,
mixed
but
media?
a lot of flashing. Yeah,
Yeah, that had a
mixed
lot of
media.
mixed media.
Oh.
But again, to show information, it was informational stuff.
Was it
Or-
pro JFK or anti JFK?
It was pro
It was more about the
conspiracy
conspiracy.
That
against
JFK was involved in?
No,
No.
against him.
No, you're thinking of 70s film. In a
assassination.
70s film, JFK and all the government would be involved in a conspiracy.
No, this was definitely JFK is pro-conspiracy against.
I think I've seen all of his films since Platoon up until Any Given Sunday in the theater.
Yeah, I
But
can't.
U-Turn, I mean, I'm like,
actually-
Nixon I hated.
I like Nixon.
Well, I thought I just never bought Anthony Hopkins as Nixon.
I liked him.
Nixon's too much of a voice and a look. And Anthony Hopkins is a
I
voice.
saw the second Wall Street as well.
Oh, you saw that in the theater?
I did.
I waited on that
because
one.
I couldn't wait to see that one because I love Wall Street so much. But
And were you disappointed?
a little bit. Not gonna lie, a little bit.
It had a good score by the Talking Heads guy. There were a number of
Yeah,
songs in there.
that's not so much that. It's just
That's what I liked about it.
Wait, so you were saying that scene where he's pepper spraying her in the face? You
It's too
put it down.
gratuitous?
It's too
Yeah.
gratuitous. It's too much.
Yeah.
But the whole movie is too much. The
like,
whole-
of course. But I'm
the
saying
whole
he's
movie is
using
him-
he's commenting on violence by using violence. I get.
Well,
that's
how
the
else
point.
would you comment on violence? Just
There's-
like
I don't
saying
know.
it?
I just felt like that one against her was over the top, and
It was also
strangling,
like-
and also strangling the prostitute.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do I need that? Why do I need
I
to
wasn't
see
sure
that?
he killed her either.
It's
I'm
because
glad
he's
you asked.
twisted.
He
they're
definitely
showing
I
like
know
he's
why the
twisted.
character did it. I want to know why the director felt he needed to put that
Show
in the
it.
movie.
Well, without
That's
it,
all
we
because
just,
Mickey and Mallory are doing enough. Mickey has
without-
movies for 70 years. If they
without
don't,
What, to
without,
show how
without
nasty Scagnetti is?
without Scagnetti like doing that to the girl in the motel, without him cutting Mallory during the.
He was
whatever
already
scene.
an asshole to Mickey and Mallory. I
Not
already
really.
felt-
All we saw him do was like. just
He
look
killed
for
the
them.
prostitute before he even saw them or ran into
No,
them.
he had
Yeah.
dealt with them before.
No, when? And what point
Well,
during the movie?
when he's like at meeting them on the car, right before that,
He didn't meet them,
Then-
though.
but you
well,
can tell
somehow
he's an
he was.
asshole from his
Somehow
act.
he was.
his
In,
act-
he was. So he was looking for them.
yeah.
He was just like looking for them.
But I think it was
But why do I
revealed.
need him strangling a prostitute?
because we would just think he's just like some slightly sleazy.
Okay, so what? Good.
But
He
he's
is
not.
like-
he's super sleazy.
You can. This is my point.
and he's
again,
twisted.
You can use exposition, like the exposition
He's
is about his
showing,
mother.
not telling.
That's right. But the exposition.
Maybe that's the problem.
the
Maybe
expo-
he shouldn't be showing.
Right. The exposition about his mother was enough. About getting shot by Whitman. I didn't need to see that. That was enough. That's enough for my character for Scagnetti. I don't need to see him strangle and she's like an innocent. It's like that's what I'm talking about. He's using violence to say violence.
But you don't
is bad.
think? But that doesn't happen.
In real life?
Yeah.
I'm
but
sure
you
it
don't
does,
show
but
it,
I don't
yeah.
need to see that. I'm sure it
But
does.
that's the
It
whole
was part of
point
the
this
jarring
movie is to
thing.
show this.
I thought the whole point was Robert Downey Jr. in the media. That's what I thought the whole point
Yeah,
is.
the media showing this.
Yeah, but it
there are-
didn't. The media didn't show it. Oliver Stone
showed
did.
it. Right. That's all I'm
Well,
saying. And that
he's also-
explains some of the copycat stuff maybe, and I don't know. Anyway.
I think
like the
I
movie.
think what explains the copycat is people don't know how to tell the difference between art and real life.
Life imitates art.
Okay. They got to be a little mentally disturbed, right?
Yeah, but I don't think you should judge a film based on mentally disturbed individuals who may or may not.
Why
You
not?
mean the director?
No, that's
Why-
that's the point. He's saying like.
Why not? Why can't I?
media,
Why can't
life
I
is-
judge the film? Why would they pick this film to copycat then?
But he's saying that life imitates the media, and
How come they never
it proves
copycat
it
the
because
Sound
it
of
happens
Music?
to his movie.
You are free to copycat The Sound of Music. Just fly to Austria.
right? So I mean, if you copycat the Sound of Music, I won't have a problem with that one.
Well,
I
here's
would
the
if I
thing.
saw
I just
people
want to
running around
say,
singing.
I'm
That'd be a
coming
problem.
off negative against this film, but I want to point that I used to, in the old days, record every movie I went to, and I would rank them in order.
94 and 94.
I saw 94 films in 94.
Uh-oh.
And
You can't wait to tell you.
and
where
all
you
but I saw 79 films that were released that year, so I didn't record the ones that weren't originally released that year. But Natural Born Killers was not my least favorite film.
What was your least favorite film?
My least favorite film was the Chevy Chase, Jack Palance film, Cops and Robertsons.
Oh. Oh, get
And
out of
then-
here.
What?
No. I know where this is going.
And then then above that was Exit to Eden.
With Rosie O'Donnell?
Rosie O'Donnell in the
As a
S&M
dominatrix?
gear. Yeah, dominatrix. And only then, only after those films did Natural Born Killers come
Were there
out.
any copycats for Exit to Eden?
Yes, but the media was tastefully enough to not show that.
Oh my god!
So that was your. So Natural Born Killers was your third least favorite movie.
Yes.
Do you have a list of all your favorite ones?
Yeah,
over there.
Of
Yeah,
all
he's got a. What are we
Wait,
doing?
wait,
I want to
would
see
you say-
what's ranked above.
what's ranked above it?
Yeah.
What would you say?
Okay.
Did it
Above
move
it.
up? Did
The
natural?
one immediately above it, Beverly Hills Cops 3.
Oof.
What?
There's no way, Sean. There's no way that
This
that's
is
better.
Sean's list.
There's no way that
Sean's
that
list.
is better.
PCU.
There's no way that that's better.
With what's his name?
And this one I regret. This one
PCU.
I would
I know that
move
one.
down north
I never saw it.
with Carl Reiner film.
Yeah.
The Chase. I don't even remember what that movie was.
Was that with
That's-
Alec Baldwin? And-
No, the chase is.
Yes, I think it
No,
was.
that's a getaway. I'm
No, that's
sorry.
the getaway. No, the chase is Kelly, the blonde girl.
Kelly
woman.
McGinnis?
No, Swanson.
Kelly.
and
Okay.
the Charlie
oh,
Sheen.
God, a Charlie.
I'm
Okay, I'll
sorry,
tell
I
you
know
what.
that
I'm
one.
going to knock that one down. Too. And then Go Fish, the lesbian independent film.
I don't
black and
know that
white,
one. Sorry.
Mixed
Sounds
format.
awesome.
I think I heard about that.
And Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
These are all above Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
Ralph.
I'm not with him. I'm just reiterating.
Spanking the Monkey. What's his name's first film?
Yeah,
He's
I
made all
know who he
those
is. I know
films.
who he is. David O. Russell
Yeah, David O. Russell. The Shadow.
with Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Wow. Really? You got to move that.
wait. Is the Shadow Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins?
No, he plays the shadow.
Are you talking about the Bear movie?
The Bear is
Yeah.
great. The Edge. That's the Edge.
That's great.
The
That's a great.
That's a good one.
That would have been a top 20 for
The
sure.
Edge.
And then Time Cop.
Time Cop should be higher than where you have. What's that?
Oh.
What number you have that?
65.
No, come on. That goes up.
Yeah,
Come on.
All right, wait,
the muscles
did-
from Brussels?
Would you
That's a
say
good one.
natural? Would you say Natural Born Killers was better this time than when you first saw it? In 94?
I disliked it for different reasons. In retrospect, I would put it higher on this list. You know, because I don't know if I'd
Like
top.
top.
What's your number
15?
one of 94?
Lion King.
Oh, that's respectable.
Yeah. But I had a
get
Woody
that.
Allen film up there, Bullets Over Broadway, too, in the top 10. I'd have to knock
You
that
know what?
that
Your
down,
Forrest
knock that all
Gump
the
is
way the
number
fuck
3.
Oh, come on. It was a monster.
I think
hit. It
you
was
should
very
switch
lovable.
Forrest Gump and Natural Born Killers.
I agree with that.
That's what I think.
Well, what about Shawshank Redemption? Come on.
That should be up there too.
True Lies.
Shawshank's
You know,
above Natural
Shawshank-
Born Killers.
Everybody loves Shawshank, don't they?
I have
That's
not
like
seen Shawshank.
Hey, how
and
about The
something
Crow
about,
is number 9?
The Crow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I go
That's
with that.
edgy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction is number 10.
Yeah. You know what? I saw Pulp Fiction was funny. I saw it in Towson, Maryland, which is kind of like right outside the city. People laughed at all the right places. They loved the film. And then a week later, I took some other people to a thing way out in the freaking country to see it. And the audience sat there in dead silence.
Yeah, that's a tricky movie.
Yeah, so it's amazing how a different audience, responded to that film.
Were you saying all of Tarantino's films start in a diner?
Oh, I didn't say that.
Someone said that earlier.
Yeah, but now that you
I
mention
think.
it, Reservoir Dogs starts in the diner.
Yeah, but Django?
Yeah, and Hateful Eight probably doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, 2 of them start in
Inglourious
the diner.
Well, you could say.
Well, no.
could say that the place where they end up is a
like
diner. It
the
is a
Pulp
saloon.
Fiction the diner scene
Yeah.
is what reminded me.
Yeah,
when
this-
I was watching that.
Natural Born Killers?
Yeah, Natural Born Killers.
Yeah, well,
remember
when I
that
saw the
scene.
Tarantino
Was,
script,
Owen in
I
that
just
one?
loved it so much
I was
better.
wondering if maybe because he wasn't able to make Natural Born Killers, maybe he just like put that scene in
Maybe.
Pulp
I
Fiction.
don't know. You have to ask him. We'll get him on the podcast.
Yes, please.
I'm sure he'd love to.
Quentin,
Get him?
Mr. Quentin.
Mr. Tarantino.
Mr. Tarantino, if
think
you're
he'd do
listening
it.
now,
We're pretty tight. I think he can.
if you notice, I said your script was better than the script that was
Whatever.
in the movie.
All right, we're going to wrap this up.
Wait a minute, I don't know.
any
Al,
final-
are you
no,
ready?
no,
Are you ready to let this one go?
Anything
You feel you've
anything
made
you'd like
your
to add?
statement about this film?
This is a lovely film that everyone
love
should
story.
see.
Beautiful love story.
It is a beautiful love story between two damaged people who go on a road trip.
Misunderstood. They're just misunderstood.
That also involves mayhem and murder.
So you give this.
My honeymoon.
This is highly rated for you. This
This is 4.5 barrels.
4.5 barrels.
Yeah, 4.5 for me too.
4.5.
Yeah.
Really? You weren't really springing to its defense there, Hassan.
Yeah.
It looks like-
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna go 3 barrels, just because from a cinematic approach, he does a nice job. It's a nice job. I don't entirely agree with what he was doing in there, but definitely.
People still talk about this movie,
I know.
other than us. So I
I
mean,
know.
even though you either love it or you hate it, people still talk about it.
People
If
talk
you
about
look
a lot
at
of
this
movies.
It's a
list of
masterpiece.
79 films, most of them have disappeared from the public consciousness. I mean, they show up on TV.
The ones you just, yeah.
My list of films from 1994 that I saw in the theaters, most of them have disappeared. This one hasn't, so it does have that.
No, it's definitely, it's definitely.
It's like edged into the history of film.
I think it was appropriate
Apparently
for its
Oliver
time
Stone
and place.
was also at the top of his.
Yeah.
I mean, he was at the top of his game then too.
Yeah.
For this one, wasn't he? I mean, that
yeah,
was.
I would say so. This was around
between JFK and then this one and Platoon. I mean, he was doing it. And of course, in this movie, he shows all his movies.
Right.
There are scenes where every TV has some Oliver Stone movie on. So he loves his
you might have preferred the theatrical cut.
Maybe I have to watch it.
I loved when they.
It's not. I'm not the violence. The over the top violence, like even shooting through Robert Downey Jr.'s hand. That I guess that wasn't in the theatrical one, but was in this one. That doesn't bother me. It's the attacks against the prostitute and Mallory in that end. It's something about
personalized. It's like
just
grotesque.
come on. Why don't I don't need that? I just don't need it. And I'm not a prude. I'm not a prude, but
trust me, he's not a prude.
It's just if you're trying to make a movie about how bad violence is, why put that in your movie?
Because
that particular
because
stuff.
it is terrible.
Because you just realized how bad it is. He wants you to feel that violence is bad.
Well, it worked.
I know.
So
that's
I
what
guess
I'm
I'm
saying.
going to change my vote to one barrel.
that helps.
Because I'm a bad person. Since
I have learned, I've grown
it's not
older
saying-
and more mature. I had given this film a bomb, which would have been no barrels, but I'm going to give it a barrel and a half.
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go. Hey.
Try not to hurt
You
yourself.
got him. You got him
Thank you.
to a barrel and a half.
You've pushed me to a barrel and a half. Which let's do this film again in 5 years on this podcast.
I want to
know,
say there is one
I
thing
could
I
go
want
to
to say
3.
about the ending. I think I was okay with the ending when I was younger, but now being older and seeing them get away, I have more problems with it. Just more.
It's funny as you get older, you get more conservative, maybe,
Yeah.
and you're like, they should get what they deserve, which
Yeah.
is stay in jail because they're going to kill
Well,
somebody.
Which, in a sense, they wouldn't mind either. They were talking
Right.
about wanting to go out.
I think actually they should probably died, and
Right.
during the prison riot.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Interesting. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
got that.
You're growing up.
yeah, I guess so.
Nice. Nice.
I'm
All
very
right.
touched. I think we've all experienced some personal
All
growth.
right. Well, that was a
today.
good one. That was a real good one. That was going to be a tricky one, and you handled that well.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It does. Maybe some people will go see the movie now.
I think you should at least see like the first half hour just to see what we're talking about in terms of like aesthetics and what he was doing.
I think people
And
should
Rodney
see it.
Dangerfield's
And Rodney
performance against type.
That's right.
I think he should
she's
have
not
got
going
the
to see
Academy
my
Award
face
for
for
that.
a half an hour.
Yeah.
I wonder what he
It's-
meant by
it-
that.
God, they
just-
even made him look.
It's so strange and bizarre and disgusting, and it's awesome.
All
so
right.
check it out.
So there we go. Check that out. Now, next week or next podcast, not next week, I think we're going to try to do Slapshot.
Yeah.
Again, we don't know from week to week or day to day what we're going to do, but we think it's going to be Slapshot. Please check out our webpage, yippee-ki-yay motherpodcast.com. Hassan, we have an Instagram.
Yippee-Ki-Yay podcast.
And we have Twitter. Sean?
YKY podcast on Twitter. Check us out. A lot
Is it
of fun
usually
there.
at? Is it at
It's
in
at
front?
first.
Yeah, it's at YKY
I even know that.
podcast. And Yippee-Ki-Yay Mother Podcast on Facebook.
And we have YouTube, Yippee-Ki-Yay Mother Podcast, if you want to see us.
Yeah, you definitely want to
Why
see
you
us.
wanna do that
I
is
comb
beyond
my
me.
hair.
Again, if you just go to the website and scroll down on the bottom, all those Twitter feeds and all our feeds are there. And if you want to click on it, leave a note. Go to
We
iTunes.
follow back on Twitter.
Go to
Even
iTunes.
if you're a Russian bot.
Right. Go to iTunes and check out the podcast and maybe leave a little message or some ratings. That would be great too. Anyway, thanks for joining us, and that's it. Good night.
Thank you.
Over and out. Good
Auf
job.
Wiedersehen.
Good job, Al.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Over and out. Join us next time when we discuss the film Slapshot. And check out our website at yippee-ki-yay motherpodcast.com.